2023 has been the year of doping issues around the world. We have seen many world-class athletes have their titles stripped, they have been temporarily banned from the sport of athletics, and they've also had to rescind many of their personal bests. But something just happened in the country of India, which I think is something that really showcases a big problem on the international stage. At the Delhi State Athletics meet, there were many athletes slated to compete. However, after doping officials showed up, more than half of the competitors either withdrew or they did some pretty bizarre things to avoid these doping officials. There was one athlete who was reported to be a steeplechase athlete who simply kept running after crossing the finish line to evade these doping tests. There were several other athletes that outright skipped the medal ceremonies. And then there was the bizarre circumstance of the men's 100-meter final, where 8 athletes were set to compete, but only one of them showed up to run in the final. I don't think this has ever happened before, to have a big national event like this with a very competitive field lined up, and then only one athlete runs in the 100 meters. This is just bizarre. Now, it's almost a fact that many of these athletes were in fact using illegal substances, and they probably knew that they would be caught if they did have to take a test. Of course, many of the athletes that continued to compete were not in fact using illegal drugs, but it just shows you how powerful a testing agent can be when their presence is known. Unlike many other competitions that have a large amount of testers that show up randomly, there were various reports that these athletes were set to be tested because they saw many syringes near the stadium and even in the locker room in the stadium itself, and somehow pictures of these syringes got leaked. Now, at the moment at least, there has been no follow-up to exactly what happened here. There is no follow-up as to the athletes that actually fled, but there's supposed to be a follow-up over the next few weeks, and an investigation has been launched. So we'll see exactly what happens over the following few weeks, given this rather bizarre circumstance. There are people that are saying that just because athletes withdrew does not give the testing agents probable cause to go after them individually, but I'm not exactly sure if that's how that works. Testing agents do have the right to test pretty much whoever they want, whenever they want, and sometimes they focus in on that to an extreme degree because there have been athletes that have been tested upwards of 20 times over a 12-month span, which, yes, it's certainly important to make sure that athletes are not doping, but it's also important to test other athletes as well. Now, I'll make sure to leave a link down below to this article because it is just bizarre, and if there's anything else that any of you know, make sure to leave a comment down below because I would love to get a dialogue about anything and everything that happened in this New Delhi track meet. Thanks for watching, everyone, and as always, until next time.